Hello everyone. Good morning. Good morning from Vietnam. Welcome to our tea tour. Hello Mim. Hello Sean. Hello Lisa. Hello Doreen. Always good to see you. Hello Linda. How are you doing? Hi Francie. We got strong. Francie, we got strong. What is it? Good to see you. Hello Steve. Oh, hello Linda. Hello Julia. Julia from Texas. Hello. Good morning, Cass. Good to see you again too, Julia. You're from North Carolina. And you got Cynthia. Beverly from Chicago. Hello, Mavis Paul. How was your day? Today is it's a weekend, right? It must be a Saturday. No, it must be a Sunday evening for most of you. Mona, must tell you here that I was able to try egg coffee at the Cafe Hanoi in Victoria, Vancouver Island yesterday. Oh, really? Oh, I'm so happy to hear. Egg coffee. It was fantastic. Yes, the egg coffee. So I guess they are from the north, probably. The one who, making the egg coffee. Huh? Oh, egg coffee. So it's all about tea today, actually. It's even though Vietnamese, we are very good at cafe, but we are good at tea too. And yeah, I'll show you tea today. Is there anybody of you drinking tea every day? Can you give me a thumbs up? If you enjoy tea, let me know. Lisa, or me, Mona. Oh, a lot of you actually. Mona, Sheila, Audra, Joanne, Doreen. Oh, Richard, of course, you're Singapore, right? Singaporean. Luz from California. Linda, Francie. Wow, a lot of you drinking tea every day. Or maybe most of the day. In Vietnam, I would say almost yes. We drink tea in the north. They could drink it every day. Drinking tea every day. But in the south, we drink a lot of them as well. Maybe not as much compared to northern, but still we can consume tea a lot in this country. All day, every day. So let's see what the tea look like. Mainly it's the oolong tea. That so it's the same plant, but the worker gonna harvest the tea and making oolong out of it. Have you tried oolong before? Oolong tea. I don't know if it's common in the West, but it's very popular here. Lisa, a lot of you, yes. Beverly, Julia, Pure. Yeah, Pure is different though. Pure is a fermented tea, but most of the tea today is oxidized, which is different. Let me show you this one. So we got baby watermelon. It look like we, you know, it look a little cute, but normally we make a pickle out of them. They call it cà pháo in the north, which is very popular actually. Yeah, so with these melon, it's very small, right? And then we're gonna marinate them. We're gonna pickle them with vinegar and garlic, a lot of chili as well, and salt. So it's very salty, crunchy. I love it. I love it whenever I travel to the north. They tend to make this one as a side dish, so we can you know, with the chopstick we pick them up, and when we chew on them, it's very crunchy. But during our food tour in Saigon, we noticed that not a lot of people in the West enjoy pickle food. Do you like pickle? Like if you love pickle, then when you come to Vietnam, it's almost like a heaven for you because we make many type of pickle out of radish, carrot, and melons and papaya, everything. So maybe melon. Hello everyone. I noticed more people are coming now. We almost start. I'm waiting for around 40 seconds. All right, and we will start exploring this tea plantation. Hello, Laurie. Have a happy weekend, everyone. I know that this is like Sunday evening for you, so have a pleasant day wherever you are. And for some of you, it's maybe Monday already. Oh, Beverly here as well. Welcome. Hello, Joyce. Hello, Alicia. Hello, Kish. Hello, Dan. So good to see some of the familiar faces. If uh, if you are new to us, if you are new to this tour, can you please give us can you give us a thumbs up? Yeah, Spring and I want to know how many new people are joining today. Ross, Krish as well. Yes, Krish, right? You are new. Jean, Nicole, Shiloh, Joyce. Oh, there's a few of you. So actually, if you are new to us, then let us introduce ourselves.
Hello everyone. Yeah, I hope you have the great Sunday today. So today, actually, we wake up very early in the morning because this tea plantation is quite far away from the center. Yeah, I drive the scooter. Yeah, always. 40 minutes away from the center. So we are here right now.
And so we are Hugh and Spring. So Hugh is pronounced like healing or Hugh Jackman. And today it's all about the tea. So we're gonna show you the tea plantation, but it's also about a beautiful view of northern Vietnam as well. So we are surrounded by the mountainous area, which is very beautiful. So if you have any question about Vietnam, please type it down in the chat, and we will try our best to answer everything. All right.
Oh yeah, right, Fancy. I work in the glasswork too. Yeah, a few days ago. It was fun experience.
And tomorrow, actually, I will walk through the longest glass bottom bridge in the whole world as well.
Yeah, to celebrate his birthday.
So make sure that you join us. And without further ado, let's get started. So today I will go to the history of tea, and I will tell you a bit about the tea making process as well. Thank you, Mona. Hi, Danette. I think you type it one time and your computer is kind of frozen, so
Yeah,
you type it
sometimes.
again and again, and it's become like that, right? Let me show you this baby melon just one more time. Okay, wait. Yeah, so this is new. Let me show you the melon first. So again, these you know, we don't eat them fresh. Normally, they have these horns, and I just touch on one of them. So it's a little bit painful. But here, these are for the pickle, right? For these little melon, we make a pickle out of them. I mean, not really people from the south, but this is for people from the north. Mainly northerner, they tend to make the pickle melon, and they call it cà pháo, which is very delicious, actually. Yeah. So this is new. So actually, Spring, she prepared this one for me. The classes, because it's very sunny for now, and no, it's hard for me to answer the question.
You look cool.
Yeah, so with this one now, I can answer more questions, but because it's easier to like take a look at the chat, you know. Oh yes, because otherwise I cannot look at the screen, you know. It's just too bright. So let's see how it goes today. This melon wild. Oh, it's wild and it's not cultivated. It's grow everywhere. The watermelon, I mean the big one, however, it is, you know, we cultivated them. But for the pickle, for the mini, then we don't need it. Normally we just pick them up in our garden. So the history of tea, well, the tea have actually, they have a very long history, and it's all originated in China, right? Many years ago. So the story is rather very interesting, and it goes that you know, we got during a long day span, and this man is been roaming around the forest in search for the edible grains and herbs. But then this man, let me post photos of him for you first. His name is Shannon, and he's very important. He's actually a god, a divine farmers. I'm sorry, I forget to upload the photos. But Shannon, the divine farmers, you see, he wandering around the forest in search for something to eat, and he accidentally poisoned himself for 72 times. So you see, he eats something and then he poisoned himself 72 times. But before the poison could end his life, there was a leaf. It drifted into his mouth. He chewed on it, and it revived him. And that's how we discover tea. Well, also an ancient legend goes, at least. But you see, the tea, it doesn't actually cure the poisoning, but the story of Shennong, the mythical Chinese inventor of agriculture, they would highlight the tea important to ancient China. Archaeological evidence suggests that tea was first cultivated there as early as 6,000 years ago. So 6,000 years ago, it was a long time ago. The big one. And that the original Chinese tea plant is the same type that's grown around the world today. So 6,000 years ago until now. So now let me come and take a closer look at these plants. So this is what the tea look like. So you see, please keep in mind that the tea, they are pretty much all the same everywhere. It grow with the same plant, and the plant, I would say those are like the true teas, all type of true tea, actually originated from one plant. And the botanical name for the tea plant is Camellia sinensis. But they actually have two main varietals. One grown primarily in China and other East Asian country, the one that you see today. And it also grows mainly in China, Taiwan, Vietnam, and Japan, and Korea as well. And then we got the other, they grow primarily in India, and they are generally healthier and more robust as well. So let me see. It's very similar though, but one is bigger. The Indian tea leaf is bigger, and normally it could have the size of my hand. So each of these teas then develop their unique characteristic, though through different harvesting and processing technique. So let me climb on it. So do we have any questions so far? It is the plant for black tea. So the same plant we could use it for many type of tea, but mainly in this garden they use it for the oolong tea. So come back to the history. Well, you see the original Chinese tea plant, right? It's all from China, and it's the same type that grow around the world today. Folks, I want to check in with you that when I speak, can you hear our voice clearly? Because with the spreading, and I'm kind of standing farther away from the camera. Oh yes, so far so good. So far so good. All right, we can continue then. So the originally the tea it was consumed very differently, because first of all, the Chinese they didn't drink it, but it was actually eaten as a vegetable, or it cooked with a grain porridge, so it is considered as a form of food. But tea only shifted from food to drink around 1500 years ago, when people realized that a combination of heat and moisture could create a complex and vary the taste out of the tea. So then it was a long process, right? After hundreds of years of variation to the preparation technique, the standard became to heat tea, where they pack it into portable cakes. They grind it into powder. They mix it with hot water and create a beverage that we call matcha. So matcha is very popular here as well. Where in the where it's normally talk about matcha, people think about Japan, right? But it also originated from China as well. The matcha. So that's where it comes from. So matcha it becomes so popular that a distinct Chinese tea culture emerged. And tea was the subject, is also the subject of books and poetry, and it also the favorite drink for a lot of emperors, for the royal family, and it is a medium for the artists. So in China at that time, and Vietnam also, in the East Asian country, the tea normally they would draw a lot of extravagant pictures in the form of the tea. So it's kind of like the espresso art that you may see in the coffee shops these days. But then we got the knife from 6,000 years ago. We got the 9th century during the Tang dynasty. There was a Japanese monk. He would brought the first tea plant to Japan, but the Japanese they enjoy the tea just like the Chinese. However, they pay a lot of attention into the preparation steps. And the Japanese, they eventually, they develop their unique rituals around tea, leading to the creation of the Japanese tea ceremony. And it's very different, right? So we got the Japanese tea ceremony. It's almost like a meditation process. But in the East, I mean in Vietnam or China, whenever we talk about the tea ceremony, it wasn't like Japan. Tea ceremony were actually a time where the couple are about to get married. For before the wedding day, the both family, the both family from the husband and wife, from the groom and the bride, came and they met each other, and they would drink tea together. So that's it, kind of like a tea ceremony. It's always related to the wedding. But in Japan, the tea ceremony is so different, right? It's more like a meditation, a meditative process. So let me see. No, they pick the leaf or cut the stems of leaf for the tea. So normally, they kind of pick it up by their hand. It's all manual work. And how it does is that we call this one a flush. So a flush would be a combination of two young leaf. Normally we will have two young leaf along with a bud, and they pick that flush all by hand. So I hope we can, if we are lucky enough to see them, but I'm not sure. But the idea is very simple, right? They pick up these flush, you see, and during this time of the year, the flush will be producing every 7 to 10 days. They will produce a new flush, and the worker gonna pick them up, and then they gonna went through a lot of process to make the final products. But it's all beginning with the flush. And these tree, the plant, it could grow all year round from April until December. So the time that you shouldn't come here is from January until March, because normally they are trying to planting the whole new plant. But after that, it's grow the whole year around, from April until December. But the peak season would fall into November, where it's actually very beautiful here as well. There are a lot of flowers, and of course, they will receive more tourists in this garden. So let me see, the plant bushes are so perfect. Yes. I sprinkle matcha powder in fried rice. Normally, matcha is very popular here, especially it's even popular for younger people. Because it's like a cream, like a kind of cream, and then we got maybe a lot of sugar, and it just tastes good. A little bit of matcha along with the other tea as well. But then the big like tea coffee chain, they would put it into a plastic cup, and they have cream on it and boba, like bubble and everything. And even though this garden, they planted the oolong, right? But oolong, the original one, is expensive. So normally we drink them a little bit. So we drink them in a small cup. For most of us, if we want a oolong tea, and we want something cheap, we tend to buy this one in Vietnam. So when you come to Vietnam, you can try that one as well, even though they have maybe like 5-10%, maybe less than 10% of oolong, but it still tastes very delicious. How long has the tea plantation been here? Has it been kept in the same family? No. This one is actually belong to the big company. And even though the tea plantation, Mộc Châu, the town that we are in right now, they are famous for tea. But the thing is, when talking about tea, the two countries, China and Taiwan, they are very good at it, and they grow a lot of them. But the thing is, in Taiwan, they don't have a lot of land to grow tea like this anymore. And what happened is the big company in Taiwan, they came to this area, and they actually, they hire workers. They bought the land to plant their tea. So the oolong, this plant for the oolong, it will travel back to Taiwan. And the Taiwanese, they're gonna make their products, the final products there, and eventually it will got exported maybe to the foreign countries. So Taiwan is all Taiwanese here. We have very good relationship with them, so there was a lot of investment in Vietnam. But for the Taiwanese, mainly they invest a lot of money into the northern region. They bought a lot of land for their tea. So, have you ever seen a tea like this before? So, please keep in mind that once again, it's come from the same plant. All kind of tea, black tea, green tea, oolong. It's come from the same plant, and we call it a Camellia sinensis. And it looks like this. No, it's all the same. So we got like green, black, white tea, purple tea, oolong, and we got a pure, which is fermented tea. So there are many different type of tea, right? But it's all come from the same plant, the Camellia sinensis. So the plant is the same, but the process of making the tea is different. Sometimes it fermented, sometimes it got oxidized. But the history of tea is kind of fascinating though, because let me come back to the history, all right? You see, now we come to the Japanese, right? The Japanese, they developed their tea, the tea ceremony culture. And also during the 14th century, during the Ming Dynasty, the Chinese emperor shifted the standard from tea press into cakes. You know, normally a tea press into cakes. They transformed it into a loose leaf tea. And that at that point, China still had a virtual monopoly on the world tea trees, making tea actually one of the three essential Chinese export goods, along with porcelain and silk. And also, the tea is all about the tea, right? It actually gives the country, China, a great deal of power and economic influence. A tea drinking spread around the world. Economic influence. So now let me try to get into the center of the tea plantation. It's kind of like a maze here as well, where in Vietnam. We actually, just for the fun of it, sometimes we build a maze, you know, out of these kind of tea tree. So people can come inside and get lost. Oh, let me show you a bit in the bottom here. I work like this because it's very good for the phone as well. The thing is, with this type of sun, it gets too hot, then the phone it just stop working, you know. Well, thank you for joining, everyone. We are around 20 minutes in the tour. So once again, for the folks who just join in, if you have any wondering, please type it down, and we try our best to see what we can do for you. Any snacks there? No, we don't have snacks here. Imagine like it's a big company, right, with a lot of workers normally. So, you know, they make sure that there's nothing dangerous. There are a lot of insects though, that for sure, and a lot of mosquitoes as well. But no snakes and weird reptiles. So this is a little view of the tea plantation. They call it the Heart Hill Plantation because I think this is just a little bit to extract the tourism, the tourists. They actually plant the tea that have kind of like a heart shape. But it doesn't look like, I mean, if I zoom a little bit over there, maybe you can see it. It's kind of have like different shape. And one of them supposed to look like a heart, you know. So the heart shape is the idea. And originally, most of the tea plantation, it belonged to the Hmong. Hmong is the biggest ethnic group in Vietnam. So people normally in the mountainous area, right? They are tribal people. They live and they tend to earn their living out of agriculture. For the Hmong in this town in Mộc Châu, they live and they earn a living for tea. But recently, of course, the big company, they come in, they bought the whole land, and now they become the worker instead, you know. What are they spraying the tea with? Yeah, it's chemical to keep away the insects. So those are not organic. You know, it is not organic tea that we are looking at. Normally, organic products is on a small scale, but like for the huge plantation like this, you will see they tend to spray to keep all the insects away. Actually, I don't know how big is it because from what I know, pretty much the whole town planting tea. So for this specific plantation, the Hill Hearts, I have no idea. I don't know. I just know it's very big. So I'm thinking about like 20 hectares. So that will be around 35, 40 acres, you know. But then you see tea everywhere in this town. So you drive a scooter around, right? And everywhere you in Vietnam is like this, like one town or city, it kind of specifies into one thing. And for this town, it's all about the tea. So this is a scene that you will look, this is the scene look like in this town when you drive the scooter around. You see tea and they plant a few fruits, some longan, some lychee, but mainly is tea. 70 hectare hả bếp? So Spring just shared with me that it's 70 hectare. 70 hectare would be, oh, that's big then. It would be, I think, 140 acres. Correct me if I'm wrong in with the acres, all right? But 70 hectare for this Hot Hill plantation. So now, you know that the tea is all come from China. It's very important for them. It's actually one of their essential export goods, and it make them become a economic influence around the world. But then the tea began to spread. Like the tea began to spread, it became very popular around the early 1600s when the Dutch traders brought tea to Europe in large quantities. And at the time, you know, the English, the Great Britain, they was in the midst of expanding its colonial influence and becoming the new dominant world power, right? So as the Great Britain grew, the interest in tea spread around the world. And by the 1700s, the tea in Europe sold for 10 times the price of coffee, and the plant was still only grown in China though. So the tea trade was so lucrative that the world's fastest sailboat, the Clipper ship, was born out of the intense competition between the Western trading companies. All were, you know, they were racing to bring their tea back to Europe first to maximize their profit. So let me show you the ship. So the fastest ship was invented because of tea. And not only that, so continue with the story. At first, the English, they paid for all the Chinese tea with silver, you know, which is normal. But when that proved to be very expensive, they suggested trading tea for another substance. And guess what? That's actually opium. You see, so the British buying tea from the Chinese at that time, and the currency would be opium. So with the opium, it triggered a public health problem within China, right? As the people became addicted to the drug. And then in 1839, a Chinese official would actually order his men to destroy a massive British shipment of opium as a statement against the Britain influence over China. So this act actually triggered the first opium war between the two nations. And now it's kind of get crazy, right? So actually the English and the Chinese, I mean the English invaded the Chinese and they fought. And it was the first opium war was huge, right? It was a time where the European they slowly showing the dominant in Asia, and eventually they took over. But it's all about the tea originally. You know, the Chinese, they were also a little bit confident as well. They burned all the British ship because they also, you know, they are the strongest empire in Asia, right? But it didn't work out very well. So the fighting raged up and down the Chinese coast until 1842, when they defeated Qing dynasty. They would ceded the port of Hong Kong to the British and resumed the trading on unfavorable terms. So the first Opium War, opium sound like fun, really? Yeah, so there was a lot of issue that lead to the war. And that war is also weakened China global standing for over a century as well. So now let me, okay, babe. I just saw there's a yellow light there. Let me try to cross through it, all right? And I will climb on top of one of these hills for you to enjoy the view of this tea plantation. There it is being, yes, it is being sprayed. I've got no idea. I mean, I see the worker wearing mask and everything. But the spraying, eh? Spraying. Anyhow, let me walk to another plantation. They were having a water fight. Yeah, I actually we also stay away from them, you know, from the spray. But what to do? Yes, I guess it's not a very pleasant scene to see. But then most of the product, most of the tea product is not organic. So, and if we want an organic one, then it will be, the price will be very different, you know. So let me see if we have any question. Yeah, it's very muddy here as well, so I have to. Oh, I can hop on here. Look like a sculpture garden. Yes, everything is very organized, and because it all year round, it's kind of always stay that way. Yeah, it's always stay this way. And now what we do is we can maybe climb up on top of the hill and show you a nice view of this region. So surrounded the area is something like this that you see. So it's like mountain, right? Mountainous area, which is very beautiful. And there was lushy green everywhere. Man with a scooter. So the man that you see, he wearing a uniform, and he is a worker of this plantation as well. So most of the most of the tourists, they come to Mộc Châu, to the city, for just to see the tea, actually, to see the tea plantation. And it's not too far away from Hanoi. So if you hop on a van or a bus or a car, it will take you around 4 hours. So 4 hours away from the capital. So take a look at this. Do you remember before, like in Vietnam, we use computer with the Windows 98, and they always have a kind of like a fixed wallpaper, and it kind of look like the tea plantation, you know. I know that it's not from here for sure, but kind of remember, it kind of remind me of Windows 98 wallpaper. It took you 4 hours to get to the Mộc Châu town lorry, and then it took us, you know, the 35 minutes drive to come to this plantation. There are many of them though, but this seems to be the most popular one and the prettiest as well. So just let me finish the story of tea. You know, it's not ended over there with the Opium War, right? It continued. And then we got the British East India Company. Let me show you this one. This is where it's got even more crazy, actually. So this company, the British East India Company, they also wanted to be able to grow tea themselves and further control the market. So they commissioned a botanist named Robert Fortune. Robert Fortune, do I have photos of him? No, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't have a photo of Robert Fortune for you. But this gentleman, I think he's Scottish. He actually came and steal the tea from China in a convert operation. So he would disguise himself and took a perilous journey through China mountainous tea regions, eventually smuggling the tea trees and experienced tea workers into Darjeeling in India. And from there, the plant spread further still, helping dry tea rapid growth as an everyday commodity. And today in Vietnam and in the whole world as well, you see the tea it become the second most popular beverage, just right behind water. So it's even more popular than coffee, and they are the second biggest beverage. Cũng có con bò. Sorry, folks. You know the secret conversation that I have with Spring. Can you type in the chat, like I should talk to Spring something? If you know what we are talking about, you will be a genius.
Laurie knows.
Laurie, no, really. So we are talking about the cows. We want to show you the cows a little bit before climbing up one of these hills.
Trên đầu có con bò kìa đây đó.
Đi đường nào ta?
Đây.
Mà con bò đó nhìn xa quá.
Ủa sao bé muốn lên đỉnh đỉnh luôn hả?
Thì tính đi đường này lên. Okay.
Bò leo giỏi vậy hả?
Yeah, so we are talking. There's a few cow there that we want to show you, but the irony is there's actually a big cow over there, right on top of the hill. So now I will climb on top for the cow. All right, for that cow. Weirdo. Just one cow, and she kind of just climbed on the very top of the hill. So let's see. Let me climb on top to see how it goes. And and yeah, so join on this adventure with us. You can see my feet right here. I just stepped on one of their dungs, you know, and now it's become like this. So it's all gross and nasty. But anyhow, yeah, there's cow dungs everywhere, right? People actually use this one. It's very beneficial as a fertilizer, of course, and we also use them to cook food as well. So we could dry the cow dung, and you know it will become a fuel, and then we would cook something out of it. You want to say hello to that cow? Yes. Now I'm gonna climb on top of the hill to say hello for the cow. But this is kind of like the irrigation technique, I think. That you know, there are water like this, right? So now you see when I step on the mud, my feet it got soaked into the earth. And the tricky thing is it's very sticky like this. But anyhow, so Spring, you stay there. Spring gonna stay there, and I will climb on the hill for you. So let us entering in the maze. I mean, imagine if you know, if a minion or like very small people come inside, then it will actually be a maze for them because they can't see anything. What I'm talking about. Okay, anyhow, let's climb on top. And now I'm gonna go into the into the process of tea making as well. But do we have any question? What is the weather now? Weather now is very good. It's actually perfect for us. It is around 26, 27 Celsius degree. And I think that would be around 70 Fahrenheit for you. According to Vietnam standard, for southerner like me, I live in very hot weather, you know. Like in Saigon, we only have hot and hotter season, right? So 26, 27 degree is perfect for me. Because in Saigon, it's always like 30, could be 35 degree. And the humidity is not that bad as well. So that's why you can see I'm not sweating today. But whenever I do a tour in Hanoi, I sweat, you know, and my clothes and everything got wet. Even my sock got wet too. So yeah, this city, I would say Mộc Châu, they have the best weather. Even better than Đà Lạt in the southern region. Because Đà Lạt is dropped to around 20 degree, which is around 60 Fahrenheit. And for us, it's actually very cold. But on the other hand, if you're from Canada, I would say 60 Fahrenheit is nothing for you, right? It's like maybe a summer for you. Yeah. But then for us, for Vietnamese, you know, because we live in a very hot weather. So when it dropped down to 60, 65 Fahrenheit, oh, where's my cow? Yeah, it's kind of cold for us. Oh no, where's my cow? I lost the cow. Oh no. Hang on. Let me climb on top first and I will try to find her. It's very beautiful here. Nevertheless, I just keep. Đi thẳng hả? Okay, Spring show me because all the tea plant is kind of like a maze here. Tricky for me to find my cows, but there you know the cow over there, you see, and there's Spring. And Spring. Đi thẳng đường này hả bác? Okay. Yeah, Spring told me to head straight, so take a look at the chat. Because I'm looking at the scene, at the screen and walking, you know, that's why I lost my cow. Could you do another tour when they harvest? Let's see how it goes in November. We don't know where we are yet. But if we have a change, They harvest it these days as well. It's just not, you know, not on a large scale. So let me see how it goes. See, what season is it now? So this is still considered the transition. So it's summer, but it's like a transition between summer and autumn. And that's beautiful because in the north they have 4 seasons. During autumn, normally it's the best time of the year where we got, you know, we got all kind of flowers and the weather is not too hot, but it's not too cold as well. But then of course during the winter, I don't want to be here because it's freezing. Yeah, so it's like that, around 60 Fahrenheit, 50 Fahrenheit. Oh, it's so beautiful. Chán này hả? Yeah, the tea is blocked my house, so I can't see her. Oh, I saw her. I saw her, my friends. So let me show you. Can you see? It's very, very hard for you to see with the screen, I'm sure. But right now, I'm gonna climb all the way on top of the hill. So it's a very beautiful scene, very scenic, and it's very tranquil here as well. Oh, I love it. Mộc Châu, 4 hours away from Hanoi, you know. So, tea plantation. For the oolong, like I mentioned, is go to Taiwan. But Vietnamese also love it. We drink a small portion of it for the older people. They're gonna brew it. And for the tea, when it become a oolong, then they're gonna use 2 teaspoons of oolong for 1 cup of tea. And it needs to be boiling almost hot, very hot water. So from 190 Fahrenheit to 210 Fahrenheit, right? Which is like 85 to 100 degrees Celsius. The steeping time is around 3 to 10 minutes. But the good thing is for the oolong, it's somewhere in between. So it's not, we got the green tea, right? It's not really oxidized, it's more fresh. The black tea, however, is heavily oxidized. The oolong is stands somewhere in between. And because of that, we can actually brew the leaf for many times. So what I'm saying, if you buy a box of oolong, you can drink it again and again for 3 to 5 times. Yeah, that's a good thing. Oh, I'm so lucky. It's a female cow. No, the female, they are very pleasant. So they are not gonna kick me on the face or something, you know. Very pretty one, right? Oh, finally. She doesn't got tight, so you can see there's a rope over there. But here we go. In Vietnam, it's, you see these cow, you know, we let them, how do you call it, like just let them wandering around the fields. They can eat and they can do whatever they want, and therefore it's very good for them. But unfortunately, we, you know, we're gonna, yeah, we're gonna eat them later on, but that's not the story that we enjoy today. Look out for the dung. I don't even care anymore. I mean, I dip my feet, you know, in the mud, and I dip it in the dung already. So now my feet is already got a lot of dungs that I don't care about the dung anymore. Dung now is just like the earth, you know. It's just like a form of nutrient for my feet. Oh, it's rather a fast cow. Where you can see in Vietnam, a lot of kids, they actually dry on the cow, you know, dry on the cow, just for the fun of it, and the buffalo as well. All right. Now just me and her, just me and my cow. she leading me to the top. I think this is like the top of the hill, and we're gonna have a magnificent view to show you. Oh, it's so pretty here. They mow the lawn. No, the sound that you see is not from mowing, but it's from spraying. Hello, friend. Finally, I find you. The cow is not normally cow. You know, you see them in the field, but in other kind of like cousin relative of the cow, right? The carabao. Carabao water buffalo is actually our national animal. So this animal is very important for us. Where the carabao buffalo, we even worship them. You know, we see them as a symbol of strength and resilience. But for cow, the thing I love about them is the color. And I have to say they are very cute, yes, especially the female one. So Mộc Châu actually famous for two things. The first one is all the tea that you can see that I show you today, all the tea plantation, right? But the second one is actually the milk. So because of those cows, they live like this. Oh, she got itchy. I don't dare to pet her though because you know she could kick me. But those cows, you see them wandering around the field. Sometimes they chewing on whatever they want, and therefore, if they got a milk for us, then the milk is very high quality. Like that. What's it around her neck? Her neck is for her owner. Then. So her owner gonna control her. And normally, if a big one, then we can hop on her back as well. Hello. Oh, she got scared, I think. So I think I would just leave her be. Making TV. So let's come for the view a little bit, shall we? What is the rope she dragging? Yes, so the drop is for the owner to control her cow, you know. Tour guide cow is showing you the best view. What a cow doing? Cow is eating. Cow not doing anything. You know, cow is just chilling and eating. She posing. Never thought about nutrient for the feed. So far so good. I don't think I miss a question. Even though after the tour I tend to take a look again at the chat and there's a few of them. Is Mr. Lipton there now? Mr. Lipton? I don't know what. Actually, I prepared this picture because I supposed to post it with the oolong, right? But they are the biggest. You know, Lipton tea are the biggest. And of course, like my parents, like the older folks, they don't really drink it because it's too sweet. Like lots of them are too sweet, and it doesn't have really a strong tea taste. So if you talk about my parents, they want like the dry tea leaf, right, where they brew it, and then all the men would gather it together. They sip on a very very bitter tea, but they have a like truly like tea flavor. For Lipton, we love it. The youngster, we make like ice, you know, iced tea with it, and then it comes with maybe a lot of sugar as well, you know. So it's like refreshing, like a refreshing drink. So let me show you the view here on the very top of the hill. Thank you for all the tips so far. Thank you, Mindy, and all my friends. I really appreciate it. The view of northern Vietnam. So northern Vietnam, you can see that the city for tea. And if you remember, we've been to Sapa, which is actually not so far away, and they are special in rice. So if you come to a different city, instead of the tea plantation, you will see a lot of rice terraces. And sometimes you see different things. It varies from tea to could be coffee as well, and rice, sticky rice, and different kind of fruits. So different city, tend to focus on a specific thing, so they don't, they make the agriculture more diverse. And as you know, we are one of the best, right, in terms of agriculture. So we export a lot of the tea. But for this one, for the tea today, then we would have to remember the Taiwanese and the Chinese, right? They are the one who founded the tea and take the tea to another level, almost. So I'm gonna end the tour right here, folks. It's been 45 minutes, and like usual, I wish you God bless in whatever you do in life. I wish you God bless, and I wish you got all the luck and all the prosperity as well. And please enjoy your Sunday evening. Have a beautiful Sunday evening. Oh, thank you, Zen. Good to see you, Zen, my Australian friend. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, all my friends. If you are new to us, you can click on our bio. You will see our link tree. If you click on the link tree, you can save our ebook. We got a small ebook that is all about the things to do in our city in Saigon. So you can save that as well. Yeah, so now 2 minutes walk, and I'm gonna click the finish button. All right. Thank you for joining. Oh, and if you have some free time, please join us on the tour tomorrow. I will challenge myself walking through a glass bridge, the longest in the world. Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. I will try my best to remember singing a birthday song tomorrow for my own birthday. Thanks, everyone. It was so short, so enjoyable. I wish you all the best. Thank you, Noreen. Thank you, Lori. All right. I will see you tomorrow. I love you all. Bless you. And bye for now.